Self-defense or second-degree murder? That's the question at the heart of the George Zimmerman trial. Jury selection got underway today.
We got a couple of guys here to break down all of the day's events, criminal experts. We got criminal defense attorney Richard Kurtz with us and personal injury attorney John Phillips. Guys, thanks for being with us. We have set up a poll today on our website asking viewers to chime in with their opinions on the trial, and we've got some results for you so far. Again, very early in the proceedings, but want to go ahead and show you some of those questions right now.
Yeah, so here are the questions. Do you think today's developments were key or mundane? If deliberations happened today, can we put that full screen up? Do we have that? Oh, they're still working on it. If deliberations happened today, would you vote Zimmerman guilty or not guilty? There we go.
Yep.
And then we also have which side had a better day, the prosecution or the defense. You can see those questions, weigh in, also see the results on our website. But let's start with that question. Gentlemen, it is only day one. It is jury selection, but who's winning at this point? Who had a better day?
Well, I would say nobody's winning at this point. We're still just trying to collect information.
Right.
We are so far from getting to where anybody's winning. This is just a very basic area of trying to find out some basic background information about each of the jurors. So we're a long way from deciding if anybody's winning or not winning.
Did anyone have a better day than the other, or is it just too early at this point?
I think the taxpayers had a bad day. You know, it's going to be a slow process. We only had 4 jurors interviewed one-on-one, and they filled out questionnaires, and a lot of the questionnaires were illegible, which 10 to 20% of people in the state of Florida are not able to read and write the English language. So it's not terribly surprising.
And they're trying to pick 6 jurors out of a pool. They have 500 that have been summoned.
Right.
And I guess they're going to whittle them down and then into groups of about 21. Is that right?
That's my understanding. I think what they're going to try to do, I mean, what I heard they were going to try to do is try to bring in 100 people a day. But as John just indicated, we got through 4 today. Now, I understand we were getting through the questionnaire, let everybody, the attorneys go through the questionnaire, but we've only gotten through 4, so I expect this to take a very long time.
How many weeks would you say?
You know, I say very long time. In Jacksonville, you know, going 1 week is a long time. It's clearly, 2 weeks in my mind, maybe 3, but clearly 2 weeks before we have any idea what's going on.
It just depends on what they're discovering. If they found 4 people that really didn't know, although they've already tentatively gotten rid of 1, that'll eventually get into 21, and they'll see if they can pick 6 plus 4 in that. If not, they're going to have to bring in another 21-person panel, and so it's going to take a while.
And that is interesting because in Florida, if it's not a capital case, you only have to have 6 jurors plus the alternates.
Want to bring up the, we have several other questions also on our poll, of course. Want to take a look at, okay, do you think the jury should be sequestered or not? We've got that voting going on right now. Would you want to serve on this jury, yes or no? Very interesting question. And will they be able to find an impartial jury? And that's where we want to bring back the experts to comment on that. John, going to find
it's going to be tough. This case has had a lot of hype, but as we found out with one juror who had rabbit ears in her house, not every person is really tuned in to what's going on with Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. Some people are so worried trying to pay their own bills that they don't really get involved with it, and I think we're going to see more of those type people.
Richard, when does it become an issue where they say, all right, we're going to have to move it to a different location, change of venue? I mean, I know that might have been a situation where we're past that, but I mean, could it happen again?
Yeah, we're past that. Okay. I mean, and I think strategically, the defense made a decision that they thought it was best to keep the case right there where it was. I mean, that local community knows the law enforcement. They know their issues. It's one of their people, so to speak, someone in their community that's the block watch commander. So that is passed. But as far as the sequestering is concerned, typically under Florida law, you only have a sequester jury if it's a death penalty case or capital case. So the request today of having all 500 potential jurors is an extreme request. I was not surprised it was shot down. But the question really will be is if they actually deliberate and it's not a death case, will the judge actually sequester? And I think probably she will.
I think they will.
And there was a moment today, if you weren't able to catch the entire proceedings going through the 4 potential jurors, where actually a woman from Chicago, John, we were talking about that a moment ago, and race is going to play a big factor in this. I mean, you just cannot deny that. So that's going to be a question that prosecutor and defense is going to pose.
Right, and it was interesting that the first African-American juror, I think she's mixed race, but from Chicago, they were limited to just ask questions on the media exposure, pre-qualification stuff. And West went off and started asking her about some other issues, and I'm like, why are you asking this woman, who's the African-American, for the first time and trying to get her for cause early? It's unfortunate, it's just a part of it when you're dealing with a case that's been so racially divisive.
And Richard, when you're talking about criminal cases, do you think what they're looking for in these jurors is different than from a typical criminal case?
Absolutely. I mean, typically you have a prosecutor looking for the more conservative folks, the people that have been in the military, the people that are members of the NRA, and people that are, just very conservative in basis. And the defense is typically looking for certain ethnic minorities, people that are more liberal, and things of that nature. We have a total switch in this case. We have a situation where the prosecutors are now going to be looking for the liberals that are going to relate with the ethnic minorities. And what we have now is the defense trying to embrace the conservatives, the people that are saying, yes, you can carry your firearm. So it's going to be interesting to watch it play out because the prosecutor and the defense are now going to be looking for other jurors than what they're normally used to.
Very fascinating case, and we will continue to have legal analysts on every day throughout the rest of the week and all the key highlights of the trial. But as far as the length of the trial, you think it will go 1 to 2 months?
My guess is 4 to 6 weeks, easy.
2 to 3 weeks plus 2 to 3 weeks. Very conservative. It's going to be a 2-month deal.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
We appreciate it, guys.
Good stuff from the experts.